I can tell you guys the Audis will be coming in the next couple of laps or so. We're pretty close to that. We'll catch up with the Michelin tyre techs too, just to confirm that situation. But there is the weather radar, just a little bit of light rain off into the distance, but it's not going to worry the Audi camp. They're going with slicks at this pit stop.
The question will be, I guess, confidence in the car, Garth, because as we see Lowndes make the pass, so it must be sprinkling up there, or you get the feeling we're getting a little bit of light rain at the top of the mountain, and you blokes know what that can be like, so that's just confidence coming to the fore here, isn't it?
And it's knowing where the weather's coming from. You see here the lead Audi, the 8 car, pulling over and letting Lowndes through, and just, I would say, trying to tap into some of Craig's local experience. As we see now, the Corvette that had everything off it, the gearbox out of it, the mufflers off it, everything being repaired, now heading up Mountain Straight for its first run in the race.
Well done. Alan Shepard's car, the Shire Conveyancer BMW, returns to the circuit as well. A car driven by Alan Shepard, Garth Duffy, and Paul Stubber, a guy who's had a huge amount of experience in historic touring cars. As we go back and have a look at the pass. Now, that is for second position, so Baird is continuing to march through the field here, and he is now starting to close on our race leader. What's the word from pit lane, Grant?
Well, guys, the Audi team are moving now. It's going to be the 8 car, by all indications. It's going to be the one to make the first pit stop. The refuelers are ready, the tyres are ready, and yes, they have hung off, and they are going to put slicks on for this one. There's not wet enough down here or at the top of the mountain at this stage to go to wet weather tyres. They've been, as I said, consulting with the Michelin tyre techs, and they are ready to go. So any tick of the clock, you'll see the 8 car here in the pits.
So a good opportunity to look at the strengths of the two different cars here. The V10 mid-mounted R8 LMS Audi with Craig Lowndes at the wheel, being chased by the rear engine Boxer 6-cylinder Porsche in the hands of Craig Baird, who has an enormous amount of experience when it comes to racing Porsches.
Racing Porsches, 24-hour racing, 12-hour racing all around the world. See here, Beardo looking up the inside of the chase. Craig gave him plenty of room. Actually, Craig had a bit of a moment. Beardo trying to get up the inside of Lowndes, but everyone got out of each other's way. But we're now entering the part of the race that the team managers and team strategists' worst nightmare. Fuel tanks are getting low. The weather's coming. You want to hang out to see if the rain's going to fall and put wets on it, but at some stage you're going to have to come to the pits and put fuel in.
Armour All replay again as they approach the chase. Just watch the attitude on the Porsche here that Garth was talking about.
Beardo just locking the rears, but Lowndesy getting out of the way, and everyone lives to fight another day.
All right, now lights go off right on the marks as you would expect. Fuel going in. We're going to get a driver change. Christopher Pies is going to hop into the car. We've got Mark Bessing stepping out now, walking into the garage, looking cool, calm and collected too. Rear tyres now. This has been lightning fast from this team. Rear tyres now on, car fired up. Christopher lights it up, sitting there waiting to go, car about to be dropped, and of course now it's all going, oh, a bit of a problem with the line, it's not caught under the car, in fact it's caught under the nose cone, it's not going to be an issue. Now he goes out, lost a little bit of time, but not a massive amount.
Good young talent, Christopher Mies. Best results of his career have come in partnership with the Audi. This will be an issue though for Hector Lester's Red Alert laser tag Ferrari. That door, the officials will be on to that. That'll require some attention. Second Audi pulls in. Warren Luff standing by the looks of it.
You see here the Audi techs running to the passenger door with a memory stick. What they're doing is actually downloading the car. They'll swap a memory stick, grab the one that's been in the car for the first couple of hours, do a system check, make sure the temperatures are running fine, make sure everything's going okay. So that's actually how they download these cars, just like your regular memory stick.
Good example there of what we were talking about earlier, which is the way in which the pit stop must be orchestrated. You can only do certain things at a given time. So the VIP crew are taking service as well. Fuel first, then they'll take attention as far as tyres are concerned. They'll get it done fairly comfortably and have a little bit of time to spare before the 90 seconds is up. As you can see, there's no rush. It looked like Tony Quinn getting behind the wheel there. And the David Wall entry circulating well. Spoke to Greg Crick yesterday after qualifying. He's part of that outfit with Barton Moore, but he was a little down on himself after qualifying. Amazingly, Greg's driven all kinds of cars over the years, but never raced a Porsche. This is the view from Spycam. Super hot. Temperatures coming off those brakes as the tyre change is executed.
Around 850 degrees on those front brake temperatures as the tyre changer goes in there with his hands to get the job done. You can see why you'd have gloves on.
Now the refueling. process. Right front, this is Beric Linton's BMW. What a shame. Could this be as a result of debris from the Mosler accident earlier on Conrod Straight? This is car 23, now the outright leaders of the race. The Ferrari is out of sequence, having had the door repaired, but the Falcon Property Group entry, Roger Largo, Matt Kingsley and David Russell, they only need to do 9 compulsory pit stops in that particular car, compared to the Audi and the Porsche of the VIP entry, which need to do a minimum of 12. So they lead Class B and are also the outright leaders. Eddie Lowndes and Luff now head Class A, but here is the outright standings for you. That's a terrific performance. Oyoung, Basseng and Meese now back to 3rd position. The Quinn family and Craig Baird 4th, and Wall, Crick and Moore round out the 5.
The R32 Skyline has a great history here at Bathurst, but this is the first time that we've seen the R35 Skyline. But the 3 guys racing it are no strangers to enduros.
Bathurst, it's fairly fast. It's got a really long straight where we're used to tracks like the Nürburgring, which is about 25 kilometres a lap, and you get lots of time to rest. The poor old Nissan here is really tough on brakes and fuel economy. It's got a big hill to climb. We're used to endurance races, the 3 of us, Peter, Tony and myself, but look, we're taking on the challenge. We're going to try and get a production-based Nissan GTR to do 12 hours without busting it. That's our challenge this weekend. I've always emphasised to all of us as drivers, bring the car back to give the next bloke a go. Because if you don't bring it back, everyone misses out. You'll probably find here that we might even take a really conservative strategy and get out of the any of the hustle and bustle. But that's the way we've always done things. We want to always be there at the end.
Most of the teams here this weekend have had to add race-ready data acquisition systems, but thankfully the Nissan, that comes as standard.
You haven't got time to look at that on the dash, but obviously we have on the dashboard the major things that we look for, and that's to try and keep the transmission temperature down, engine oil temperature down. And obviously it's going to be a very hot meeting here, so and that's going to be tough on all the cars and the drivers.
From his days in the Australian Rally Championship through to his recent foray into tarmac racing, Dean Herringer's long association with Subaru continues. This year he's running a WRX STI, built and operated by his family's Maximum Motorsport business.
My history and heritage is obviously rallying, and particularly gravel rallying, and I love doing that. But look, behind the wheel of a Subaru racing a car, I don't mind whether it's Targa, or tarmac rallying, gravel, or here at the racetrack. And like I say, I love coming to this place. There's something about it that you hear everyone talk about, what we all grew up with. It's just got this sort of something about it.
Waiting for a safety car to come out there.
Oh! Massive impact at the top of the mountain.
Herridge will be hoping for a better result after a nightmare finish last year, crashing out in spectacular fashion late in the race.
It's probably nearly one of my lowest, in motorsport. We were in a great position with the team. They're a private team like most of the people here, and we just got caught out by being unsighted into that corner. I'm here this weekend to try and redeem some of that, and hopefully get some runs back on the board so that when I get back home, my mates don't sledge me quite as much as they have done.
You've been invited to any movie premieres this year?
Not by Eric, no. I think, look, everyone was very, very good about it. When Peter hopped out of the car, he was obviously gesturing, and most people asked us, what was he saying to you? And he was very good about it. Most of my mates just actually think that I'm going to be pounded by the Incredible Hulk at some stage.
He's teaming with fellow West Australian John O'Dowd and Sydney-sider Angus Kennan for this event. But unlike previous years, the team is the lone Subaru WRX in their class and this year's lineup.
We're proud to be flying the Subaru flag, and look, in a lot of ways I think it's fantastic to have the exotics of the motoring world here and be able to compete against them on the same track. It's great.
Lots going on at the moment that you would expect it. We've got the 69 car that was going so strong a few moments ago. Here in pit lane, Mike Newton, have a look at this, the fan belt. That's what has put this car out of the race. Bitterly disappointing.
Well, yes, we're bitterly disappointed, but we're not out of the race yet. We'll do a quick repair and we'll go back out. Still a long, long time to go, and anything can happen. All the other cars too.